So welcome to all of you. Today we will see what do we mean by divisibility. Okay. So divisibility that is what on integer actually. So suppose b is an integer. That means what an integer b. This is the definition. An integer b is said to be divisible by an integer a. So note that a not equal to 0. This is in the definition. A not equal to 0 is provided to. If there exists integer c, if there exists an integer c such that b is equal to ac. Okay, so the symbolically this is represented as a divides b. A divides, this is what this is read as a divided b. This is not a upon b. Note that. Okay, so note if a divides b, then we say that a divides b. This is what this a divides b. This is read as a divides b. This is also called as a is the divisor of b. So a is the factor of b. B is the multiple of a. So if a divide b, then a. So what is the definition? A divide b implies that there exists c belongs to z such that b is equal to ac. This is a simple definition. A divide b implies that there exists c belongs to this. So note that here what? So a, b both are the integers and what? A not equal to 0. Both are the integers and a not equal to 0. Okay. So this should not be 0. This should not be 0. Why? Because what? So if you write this is 0 divided 2. So this what does this imply? 2 is equal to 0 times some integer. Is it true? So no, because 0 into anything is 0. Right? So that means what? 0 divided 2, this will be the first. You may write this is what this may happen that 2 divides 0. So 2 divided 0 means what? Can you write 0 is equal to 2 times some integer? Yes, we can write 0 is equal to 2 into 0 and 0 is the integer. So that means what? 2 divided 0 is okay. But 0 divides, so that means what? 0 does not divide any number. But any number divides 0. Because what? So the a should be the integer. Okay. So 0 you can write a into some integer. That is what? 0 is equal to a into 0. Okay. So this is the definition. Remember this is what? So a divided b implies that a divided b. This is very important. Okay. So how we can define a divided b? Symbolically you can define this what? So AB belongs to Z. A not equal to 0. This is important. Okay. Then a divided b, if there exists c belong to z such that b is equal to ac. This is the symbolic representation of a divided b. Okay. So this is read as a divided b. Okay. Okay. So whenever a divided b is there, always write b is equal to a times some integer, whatever this integer c. Okay. Suppose c divided b. So means what? B is equal to some integer. Suppose you can take m. So m belongs to z. You can take okay. So m divides n. If m divides n, then you can write n is equal to this one is equal to m into some integer a. So you have to write this a belongs to z. So you have given that m and n are integers. Okay. Now we write this what? Is it true? 5 divides 15. Is it true? Okay, 5 divided 15. So can you write 15 is equal to 5 times some integer? If you can write 15 as a 5 times some integer, then this is true. So I can write this is 3, right? So 5 divides 15 is true. Can you write 5 divides 15 divides 5, right? So means what? 5 is equal to 15 times some integer. You cannot write, right? So you cannot write. So that means what? 15 do not divide 5. 15 do not divide 5. So can you write a divides a? Yes, I can write this. I can write a is equal to a into 1. So that means a divides a. So can I write a minus a divides a? Can I write r is equal to minus a? So minus a into some integer. A is equal to 1. So I can write this as a minus 1. Okay. Can I write 1 divides a? Can I write? So how can I write? How we can write a? A is equal to 1 into some integer. Even a is integer. I can write a is equal to 1 into. Can I write this a? So this is what? A is equal to what? Minus 1 into. I can write minus a. Minus a is integer. Right? So that means what here? Plus or minus a plus or minus 1 are divisors of a. Right? So for any a, plus or minus a and plus or minus 1, and they are called improper divisors of a. So that means what? If you take the 5, then plus or minus 5 and plus or minus 1 are always divisors of 5. So these are called improper divisors of 5. So that means what? If suppose we are given number 15, the number 15, then plus or minus 15 and plus or minus 1 are always divisors of 15. So these are the improper divisors. Okay. So that means what? Divisors other than plus or minus 15 and plus or minus 1 are called proper divisors of a, are proper divisors of 15. So which are the proper divisors? 3, minus 3, 5, minus 5. So these are the divisors of 15. Because what? 3 divides 15. Because we can write 15 is equal to 3 into 5. 3 into some integer. Okay. So again you can write minus 3. Right. So 15 into what? 15 is equal to minus 3 into minus 5. Minus 5 is integer. So 5 divides 15. This is also true. Because 15 you can write 5 into some integer. Minus 5. Minus 5. You can write 15 is equal to minus 5 into some integer. That is what? Minus 3. Okay. So that means what here? Plus or minus 3. Plus or minus 3 and plus or minus 5 are divisors of 15, but they are the proper divisors of 15 because they are other than plus or minus 15 and plus or minus 1. Okay. So let a belongs to z. Okay. A not equal to 0. Then the divisors other than plus or minus 1 plus or minus a are called proper divisors of a. Suppose example. Suppose you are given 20. A is equal to 20. Then 1 plus or minus 20 plus or minus 1 are improper divisors of 20. Okay. Instead of 15 we will take 20 now, so that you can see the other examples. So second. So what are the divisors of these two? Plus or minus 20. It is even. So plus or minus 4 is also divisor. Okay. So this is number. So how can write this 20? 20 you can write 2 into 10, right? So 2 into 5 into 2, right? 2 into 5 2, right? So this is what? Plus or minus 5 is also there. Then plus or minus 10. Any other? Okay, plus or minus 10. We have taken the product of these two. We have taken the product of 4 and 5. 4 is there. Okay. These are only proper divisors of 20. Okay. Similarly, you can take other examples 21, 25, 27, like this. Okay. So I hope that you understand this one. So divisors, what do you mean by divisors? Okay. So we'll see some properties . Okay. So properties of divisibility. 1. Let A, B, C belong to Z. Let A, B, C belong to Z. That means let A, B, C be the integers. Okay. If A divide B, then A divide BC. Then A divide BC. That means what we have given? You have given A divide B. What we have to prove? A divide BC you have to prove. Okay. So prove. Given that A divide B. So what does this imply? Don't apply C now here. B is equal to AC because C is in the problem. So what does this imply? There exists. I will take this. There exists M belong to Z such that you may write like this instead of there exists. Just we will write this. What B is equal to A M belongs to Z. Take other than C now. Don't use A B C. Other than A B C, you use any letter whatever you want. You may take alpha. You take beta. So you should write this M belongs to Z. If you take here alpha, if you want to take here alpha, you can take. So that alpha must belong to Z then. Okay. So you have to write this that integer, right? You can take any your favorite letter also here. Instead of here, you can take your favorite letter, and that favorite letter should be belongs to Z. Okay. Now B is equal to what you want to prove? BC is equal to A times some integer. This we want to prove. So I will multiply by C now here. What? BC is equal to AMC. Right? So now you know that the product of two integers is integer. Now your M into C is integer. M into C is integer. So A times some integer. This M into C is the integer. Right? So this implies that what? So that means what? BC is BC is the multiple of A. So that means what? A divide BC, right? So we have proved. Okay? Very simple proof of this one. We have proved this A divide BC. This you want A divide BC. Okay? So we'll go to the second property. Very simple. So you should prove the independently. Let A, B, C belong to Z. If A divide B and B divide C, then A divide C. This you want to do. So this is the transitive, right? You have seen that the transitive is A is related to B, B is related to C. This implies that A is related to C, right? So that means what? If A is related to B means what? A divide B. B is related to C means what? B divide C. Then you have to prove that A divide C. That means we have seen the transitive relation, right? So this note that this is the equivalence relation also. Is it equivalence? No, this is not equivalence relation because what? A divide B does not imply that B divides A. So this is not a symmetric, but it is reflexive. A divides A. This is true, right? It is reflexive, transitive, but not symmetric. So this divisibility is a better example of a relation which is reflexive, transitive, but not symmetric. So this relation is not symmetric. Okay, so we have to prove this one. Okay, so prove. Given that A divide B and B divide C. This you have to provide, right? This implies that B is equal to A. A divide B means what? B is equal to AM, right? And C is equal to BN. So M and N are not in the problem. So you should mention what are your M and N. You should mention what are your M and N. So this is your M. So your M and N are integer. You can take any letter instead of M and N, whatever you want. Okay, but say that just you have to mention that. So your that favorite letters are belong to Z. Okay. So now what you have to prove? A divide C. You want to prove A divide C. That means what? C is equal to A times some integer. This you have to. That means what? C is the multiple of A. This you want to prove. Now where is C? C is here. B to M. So now you have the value of B is equal to M. So I will put the value of B. So this implies that C is equal to value of B now. B value of B is what? AM. AMN. Your M and N integer. M and N are integer. You know that the product of two integer is a integer. So your Mn is integer. So Mn belongs to Z. So that means what we have proved that C is equal to A times some integer. That means by definition A divides C, and that we want. Okay, so we did this. We have proved the second property also. Now we go to the third property. Let A, B, C belong to Z. Then if A divide B and A divide C, A divide both B and C, then A divide Bx plus Cy, xy belongs to Z, xy belongs to Z. So this you have to prove. That means what? So note that B and C are given integer. So Bx plus Cy is called linear combination of B and C. This is called linear combination of B and C. Right? That means there exists integer. So when we say that B and C are the linear combination of B and C are in linear combination, if there exists integer this, so this is what Bx plus Cy is called a linear combination of B and C. Okay, so that means what? If A divide B, A divides C, then A divides its linear combination. This you have to prove. Okay, so we prove this one. That means what you have to prove? Bx plus Cy is A times some integer. This you have to prove. A into any integer, whatever this one. You have to prove this one. Okay, so we will prove this one with the help of the definition. No problem. Okay, solution or prove. So given that A divide B and A divide C. What does this implies? B is equal to AM and C is equal to AN. N belongs to Z. So this implies that. I will write this Bx plus Cy now. This Bx plus Cy. I will directly write because I have B, I have C. I write Bx plus C. So Bx plus C means what? We have to multiply by x here. So value of B is what? AM. So AM x plus value of C. C is what? AN. So AN y. Okay. So A is here. I can take A common. So I will take A common. So this is mx plus Cy. Now note that your m and n are integers. Your x and y is also integers. Your x and y are given to you. They are the integers. So all x, y, m, n are integer. You know that the product of the two integer is integer. Sum of two integer is integer, right? So that means mx is integer, Cy is also integer, and this is the sum of two integer. It is also integer. So mx plus Cy belongs to Z because product of two integer, sum of two integer is integer. Therefore, what we have did? So this implies that Bx plus Cy is the integral multiple of A. We have proved that Bx plus Cy is integral multiple of A. So this implies that by your definition of divide, Bx plus Cy. So you may write here minus. So that means what this property tells us? A divide B, A divide C, A divide D, A divide D. Okay. So this implies that A divide Bx plus Cy minus dm, whatever this, you can write plus minus whatever you want. You can multiply by any number. You can multiply if you want to write here 2i twice b plus 3c minus 4d, whatever this, you can write this one. Okay. So that means if we divide the numbers, A divide 3 number, it divides its combination also. It's linear combination also, not combination, it is linear combination. Okay. So this is very simple. With the help of the definition of A divide B, we are proving this one. Okay. So now we'll go to the next property. So A, B, C are integers. Okay. So A, we have only two integers. Okay. A belongs to Z. B not equal to 0. So note that B not equal to 0. Then mod of A less than equal to mod of B. Okay. So prove. So what? what is going on? AB belongs to Z, A divide B not equal to 0. If A divide B, then mod of A less than equal to mod of B. Mod of A less than equal to mod of B. That means what here? If you are saying that A divide B, then this number is less than this number. This is the greatest number then, right? That means what you cannot write C 15 divided by 5. This is not true because you cannot write 5 is equal to 15 times this one. So this number should be the greater number, right? From this, right? This is the greater number than this. Okay, so that means you can write 5 divided 15 here. This is true. 15 is the greater. So whether you are writing A divide B, this B should be bigger than A. B should be the bigger than A. So you should know this. So we prove this one. So what is A divide B? What does this imply? B is equal to AM. M belongs to Z. M belongs to Z. Right? So now here what? So B not equal to 0. A is also not equal to 0. A is also not equal to 0. So therefore Q is also not equal to 0. Because what? By definition A divided B, A should be, A is always not equal to 0, whatever B may be. So you have provided B is not equal to 0. That means your Q is also not equal to 0. Right? So therefore what? Therefore Q greater than equal to 1. Q greater than equal to 1. Okay. So Q greater than equal to 1. We'll multiply. This is what M. This is instead of this. This is M. Right? M greater than 1. Okay. We will multiply by mod A now. Mod A M is greater than 1. Okay. Greater than 1. So mod A into M is nothing but mod B. This is mod A now. We have multiplied by mod A. So mod of B is greater than mod of A. Okay. So this is proved. Okay. Next. If A divide B, AB belongs to Z, large property, AB belongs to Z. So if A divide B, if A divide B and B divide A, then A is equal to plus or minus B. Then A is equal to plus or minus B. Okay, so proof. So given that A divide B and B divide A, what does this imply? B is equal to A times M and A is equal to B times N and A is equal to instead of this what? Instead of applying the divisibility, what do we do? So A divide B means what? This number is the greatest number. So mod A is less than equal to mod B and what does this imply? This is what? Mod B is less than equal to mod A. This number is the biggest. This number is the biggest than this, right? So this. Now what? A is less than or equal to B and B is less than or equal to A means what? This number is smaller than this and this number is, they are the smaller than with each other. That means what here? Mod A should be equal to mod B. So this implies that mod A is equal to mod B and this implies that A is equal to plus or minus B or B is equal to plus or minus A. Whatever this. This also you can write this word B is equal to plus or minus A. Okay, this we write in bracket. Okay, so if mod A is equal to mod B, then A is equal to plus or minus B. So you are familiar with the mod A, right? This is the absolute value function. Okay. So we'll take the problem. Prove that problem. This is the example. Okay. So prove that n into n plus 1 is divisible by 2 for any n belongs to z, for any integer n. What you have to prove? Prove that n into n plus 1 is divisible by 2, okay, for any integer n, okay. So case 1, okay, n is an integer, okay. So case 1, n e1, an integer, that means it is e1, right? N is e1, then n plus 1 odd, then n plus 1 is odd. Okay, so what we did case 1, let n be an even, then n plus 1 is odd. So therefore n into n plus 1 is even, because even into odd is always even. Okay, so therefore n into n plus 1 is divisible by 2, because even number is always divisible by 2. Okay, case 2. Case second, let n be an odd number, okay. So therefore what, if n is odd, then n plus 1 is even, n plus 1 is even, therefore n into n plus 1 is even, therefore n into n plus 1 is divisible by 2. So n is even or odd, right? So therefore n plus 1, n into n plus 1 is divisible by 2 for all n belongs to n, for all n belongs to z, for all n belongs to z. So the problem is over now. Okay, so I hope that you understand the definition of divisibility. With the help of the divisibility, we have proved this one. Okay, so now we will stop here. Okay.